Holly
and Morgan. So, we wanted to talk about our struggles with mental health and anxiety today. I feel like TikToks and YouTube videos that are about mental health and anxiety, I normally relate to a lot, and I just find them helpful. So, I think we should also work on breaking the stigma around the talk of anxiety, because as much as we want to think that there's no stigma, there is.
True.
So, you might relate to our experiences and can gain some insight and wisdom into how we're dealing with things and how we're continually growing and all that fun jazz.
Well, my anxiety goes back to 1963 when I was just a little sperm cell.
True.
My dad wasn't even born yet.
In 1963? You ain't no sperm cell. Wonder when people actually get sperm. Because are you born with balls? I don't think you're born with balls.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. That's interesting.
Are you born with balls?
No, guys coined the term when my balls dropped.
Well, yeah, that's when their voice drops.
Whoops.
We're gonna turn this podcast episode into something it ain't.
What was that thing that I said at Walmart the other day? And you and Nolan were like, "Are you serious?"
It was in Walgreens when you when you asked where the other 60% is in the vodka. If it's 40%, where's the other 60?
If it's 40 proof, where's the other 60%?
The way neither of us gave you an answer because we said, I know you're kidding.
What was that? Is that your answer? Oh my.
The other percent of it is water.
Is it actual?
I think. It's gotta be something. Every drink's made of water. Coffee's made of water. Water's made of water. Juice is made of water. Pop's made of water.
Water. We're made of water.
We're all made of water. The ocean's made of water.
The ocean's made of salt.
And water.
And water. Okay, anyways, back to your school days. Tell me something I don't know.
I don't know what you don't know because I don't know anything because I made it all go away. Trauma.
Yeah, we do.
So my earliest memory of my scary times was probably like a story I can actually remember. It's from like 4th or 5th grade, and we were about to take a test, and I was scared as shit. But because we were taking some type of benchmark, and my mom is like, "You better pass that test." So yeah, I think she gave me anxiety. She gave it to me.
Yeah, you didn't have it. She gave it to you.
She gave it. She said, "Here you go." Yeah.
Have some of this.
Literally. Anywho, so you know, I was scared because I wanted to do well in school. You know, because my parents were like, "Do well," and I'm like, "Okay." So now I'm like flipping my lid because I gotta do good on this dang test. So then I got super anxious, which I didn't know was anxiety at the time.
What did you think it was?
I was like 8. So, or 10. I don't know how old I was. I was a child. I don't know. Maybe I thought it was anxiety. Maybe I thought I was just scared. I don't know what the hell I thought it was. So, I'm purposely making myself sick. So, I'm like in the bathroom being like, blah! Like, I'm just over here making myself sick. And then I'm like, "Teacher, can I go to the office?" Because I'm checking my notes. So then I go to the office and I make them call my mother, and I'm like, "I'm sick. I'm dying. Blah. I done puked. I'm scared. I have to poop." I'm like, "Get up, shit." And I'm just like, "Please come get me." And mind you, we lived 3 minutes away from the school. So I got to sit in the office and chill and got my backpack. And I'm sitting there, I'm putting on a damn show. I'm like, "Oh, I feel so sick. Can I go to the bathroom, Miss Office Lady?" And I'm like in the bathroom, and then like, she like, "Knock, knock, your mom's here." And I'm like, "Hallelujah." So then I run out of the bathroom, and then I come out, and I'm like, "Oh, I feel so bad. I'm sick." And then the second I got out the door, I skipped the loo the whole way to the car. And my mom's like, "You ain't sick. You no. I was like, no, Mom, please, I want to go home. She's like, you've already been sick, you've only down here for nothing. I'm like, yeah, I am, I don't feel good. I'm like, I have been feeling nervous all day. I feel sick to my stomach. And I guess she knew I had anxiety. How the hell you not know I had anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
She's in her like early 30s at this point. So I'm like, I know you knew I had anxiety, so you didn't do anything about it. To be fair, I was a kid. So yeah.
Yeah, that's something my mom said. She's like, I wish I would have put you on anxiety medicine sooner. But like, it's so difficult when you're that young and dealing with it, because you're like old enough to recognize that something's wrong with you, but you're not old enough to know the deepness of it, or like how to combat it. And it's a very difficult situation for not only the parent but the kid.
Yeah. And then it relates to the doctor visits when I was when I was a youngin. Back when I was a youngin. And I go to the doctor, I'd be freaking flipping my lid because I'm scared of all the doctors. And I thought they would always tell me something bad. And for a hot minute when I was younger, I did. Every time I go to the damn doctor, they're like, this is wrong with you. Next. This is wrong with you. This is wrong with you. You're overweight. This is wrong with you. And like when you're first really, really young and they tell you, this is wrong with you. You're that freaking young. And you're so young. Like now I have PCOS, obviously. But when you're that young, they can't tell you have PCOS because you haven't even started your period yet. So they really couldn't even tell you what's wrong with you until you did start your period. And which is why I think I started my period so late.
True.
Since I came out the damn womb.
Yeah.
So it's always been messed up. And yeah, so all my problems started with my nice little PCOS diagnosis back in like 6th grade. So yeah. So then I go to the doctor and they're like, you have this health problem, you have this health problem, you have this health problem. Then I'm like, I hate the doctor. I hate going to the doctor. And then, like, growing up, we obviously didn't eat the best food. So every time I go to the dentist, like, you have this cavity, you have this cavity, you have this cavity. And I'm like, damn, I can't freaking win. I got nothing but cavities. And then also I had to go to the orthodontist. So then I always have braces. So then I'm like, damn, I gotta go to the orthodontist now. My teeth are gonna hurt. So I just, every single time I'd have to go to a doctor, I knew something was gonna be wrong. Something was gonna be up. I was gonna leave in pain. I was probably gonna take a blood work. And I think that's where my little doctor anxiety came from. And I'm just now starting to go to the doctors again. Because I realized I had to, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, that's the younger ages. Your turn.
I don't think you know this, but you kind of reminded me of it. I think that my first ever experience with anxiety was in kindergarten. Like, I've been dealing with being the shy kid for my whole life. And I had separation issues from my mom. She would have to rip me out of her arms. I was screaming and crying every day that I went to preschool. It was bad. Because I don't know. So basically, my first ever encounter with anxiety was in kindergarten. Actually, oh my god. It's even earlier than that. Okay, so I was in daycare. So I'm maybe 4 years old, okay? And I don't know why, but every single day we would have playtime outside. And every single day, no matter what, no matter if it was 90 degrees, no matter what, I had to have on this little pink jacket that I had. And I would not take it off. I would refuse to take it off. I would go to school with it zipped. It would be zipped the whole day, would not take it off. It was a security blanket for me.
Yeah.
I could not take it off. Anytime my mom would try to tell me to take it off, I would cry. I don't know if it made me feel more secure, because obviously I'm around kids and that makes me anxious being around people. So I truly don't know why.
You were staying toasty.
Yeah, I would be sweating and I would not care, because that it was a fur coat too. It was not fur but fuzzy.
Yeah.
It was pink and fuzzy and it had a hood and the hood had fur on it. And then the next earliest memory with anxiety that I can remember was in kindergarten, and I think it was the first day. I think I was fine, and then we went to recess. And all the kids went running onto the playground, the wild banshees they are. And so I just like sit down on like the perimeter thing that like kept the gravel in. I literally like sat down on that, and after I'd say like 10 minutes went by, I was just watching them. I was just like, what are they doing? Like,
they're playing.
Why are they crazy? So I was just watching because I didn't know anybody. And, you know, I'm in kindergarten. I don't know how to make friends. I think around 10 minutes later, one of the kindergarten aides came over and she was like, you have to go play. Like, go play. You can't just sit here. Like, you need to go play and make friends. Like, that was her big thing. She wanted me to make friends.
You have to.
You have to. Like, go make friends. And I don't know, like, what I said or anything. I don't remember. But I think I was, like, kind of protesting. I was like, no, like, I don't want to. And then the teacher's aide had a granddaughter who was in my same grade. And she called her over and she was like, hey, go play with her. So we went off and did our little thing and ended up becoming friends. But then she ended up moving away. So let's make fun.
Damn.
Yeah. So that was my first encounter. And then pretty much my whole elementary, I was fine in first grade, fine in second, and fine in third. Like, I had friends in all of those grades. But then fourth grade was really when shit started hitting the fan. So my two best friends who I was in fourth grade with, they moved to the inner town school. And so I started fifth grade all by myself because, like, I hadn't made friends with any of the other people because I had these two friends and, you know, that was fine with me. So they moved, and after that, I struggled with making friends for years, like years, because at that point my anxiety had developed more and I got more shy. And I can remember specifically in like 5th and 6th grade, people would come up to me and be like, hey Morgan, and I would just like smile at them. Like, I like physically could not talk. Like, literally I could not make myself talk. Like, I just couldn't. So, you know, people just don't know how to react to that. So then people were like, oh, she's just quiet, like, that's Morgan. And so I didn't really have any friends in those grades because I was shy and nobody knew how to approach me. Nobody knew how to, like, get me to talk because I didn't. And that's when the jacket thing started up again. In 5th grade, I had this Aeropostale jacket and it was like peach colored. And I would wear it outside to recess and sit on the bench the whole time. Like, I would not get up from that bench the whole time. I would sit and I would watch the boys play kickball, and I would not take that jacket off. And then, in my 6th grade year, I finally took it off. Like, finally, I worked up enough courage, and I took it off, and I held it. I did. I really did. And it was a big deal for me, for real.
Damn straight.
And then, I got to the point where I would take it off and hang it up in the classroom. Yeah.
Purse it.
Yeah. So, I don't know what the whole deal with me and jackets is, but that's my security blanket, apparently. I think as the years went on, I kind of just got more quiet. It's like a wave for me. In kindergarten, no friends, shy. Then I made friends and I was fine until like 5th grade. And then we're at another peak. And we go flat for a while, and then we go back down as I like mature in age. That was my experience in elementary school. There's really no big, huge details, just that I just didn't talk. Like, I literally couldn't talk. Like, my social anxiety was so bad that I just couldn't. Do you have anything for middle school?
I just like it's a socially awkward phase.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally talking about jackets. Like, in middle school, I'd always have a jacket of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And I would wear over any outfit I had. And, like, I wouldn't want to take it off because, like, obviously insecurities and shit. And little did I know I was fucking skinny. But I thought I was fat because I'm surrounded by these bitches who look like pencils. And that's not my body type. But I didn't know that. So, like, literally, if you look at pictures of me in middle school, I almost always have a jacket on. Especially, like, 7th and 8th grade. So now you're talking about jackets. I'm like, oh shit, I did the same damn thing. Not to like the same extent, but like I think I had them jackets as security blankets for real. Because it was like my Aeropostale one. I had them from Walmart. I had them from everywhere. There was a store I had a damn jacket, and I was going to wear it.
That's why I don't understand what my problem was, because I was skinny. Like, I didn't have anything to cover up, so...
Yeah, I would literally, like, sit in class like this. Like, both my hands on my sides, so, like, people couldn't see my sides. And it wasn't to impress anybody. It was anybody. It wasn't like, oh my god, I want the boys seeing me. Oh my god, no. It was never that shit. It was always just like... No, I don't want anyone to know that I'm fat. I don't want anyone to know. They can't see me. If I put my two arms beside of me, they won't know.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I was always worried about what other people think, and I grew out of it, which is why, like, when I think of other people caring about what others think now, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, middle school was the rough ages for me. Those were the dark days for me.
I was really rocking through middle school. Anyway. I'm glad I had a great experience.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. Pretty much, my anxiety from that I had that built from 5th and 6th grade kind of just continued on to 7th and 8th, because my middle school was connected to the high school. So we kind of had that big jump. We didn't have like the middle ground. We had like from 6th grade in my elementary school, you went straight to 7th grade in the big high school. That high school had everybody in the county, pretty much. Like, almost everybody in the county. That was the, like, #1 major school.
We had 8 high schools.
I had 3. So, my anxiety progressively got worse as I went to 7th and 8th grade. 7th grade was probably the worst out of the years for me, just because I just, like, could not make friends. Like, all the people that I knew from my elementary school were, like, breaking off and making friends from, like, other schools. But, like, I didn't. I just, stuck to myself. Didn't talk to anybody. Nobody wanted to talk to me because I, wasn't giving them anything back. But thankfully, there was this girl who was the daughter of one of my mom's friends. And my mom's friend was like, be nice to her. She's shy. She doesn't have any friends. So this girl introduced me to her friend, and I will literally never forget this girl for the rest of my life. She was so kind to me, and it kind of gave me like my little group that I had in 7th grade. But all of my classes were hell. Gym class, hell.
Gym class.
Lunch, oh my god. When I was sitting in class, the, period before lunch, I would get such bad anxiety just to walk in the hall to lunch, because I knew it was going to be crowded.
You would shit your britches at my high school. We had 2 lunch periods because we were so big.
We had a middle school lunch period and a high school lunch period. So, and also another thing is I would get such bad anxiety just to walk from class to class. Like, such bad anxiety. Like, I would literally be, like, one of the first ones out of the classroom and one of the first ones in the classroom. Because, like I said, I didn't really have any friends I wanted to talk to in the hall and between classes. So I would literally, like, walk so fast from one class to another just so I could, like, not be in the crowded hallway. Like, that's how bad my social anxiety was. It was so bad. And, like, I always wanted to be the first person in the classroom so that I could sit down first and, like, get my seat before, like, everybody filed in, because I didn't want to have to walk in front of all these people. And also, I, like, wouldn't use the bathroom. Like, my anxiety was so bad that I, like, couldn't differ from my routine. So I didn't use the bathroom at school. From, like, 6th grade, actually, no, it was, like, 5th grade to, like, I think 8th. Like, not a single drop of pee. Like, I could not get myself to go to the bathroom. Like, I could not get up. I could not go to the bathroom myself. Couldn't get up during class. Couldn't ask the teacher to go. Couldn't go, like, in between going to class because I had to race the class. So, yeah, I would hold my pee for the whole entire day. And then when I got home, that's when I would pee. I'm not playing. It was that bad.
Can't believe you were one of the people that's like,
No.
hey, bathroom.
I forgot about all that.
That was me every day. Every day. All the time. If I didn't want to be there anymore, can I please use the bathroom?
But, like, I loved what the teachers were teaching, so, like, I wanted to be in class.
Yeah, you was a different breed.
But, yeah, I just, like, it was just so bad that I literally couldn't.
Yeah, that's why I'm in college now. I currently my classes, so I stay.
Mm-hmm.
Except for one class I had this semester where I would only use the bathroom in their class because it was boring as hell.
That's one thing I still won't do. Like, in my hour-long classes, I will not get up to use the bathroom. Like, I literally cannot do that. Like, getting up and leaving the classroom and then having to come back in with a classroom full of people, I can't do it.
It's like, what's up?
I could not do it.
But, like, my major also, like, you're forced to talk to each other. So, like,
even if I wasn't.
I'm friends with, like, everyone.
I couldn't. So, at the end of 7th grade, I found out that girl was moving. Again, another one.
Damn.
Another one.
Yeah.
It's happened to me 3 times. So, yeah, she was moving and back to New York, where she was from. And, so, yeah, that gave me really bad anxiety for the next year. Then in 8th grade, I started the year with nobody because she was pretty much the only person that, like, I was really good friends with and I, like, felt comfortable around and, like, talked to. I had more depression than anxiety in 8th grade. Like, obviously that social anxiety was still there, but the depression was roaring in 8th grade. Bad. So, I got my first boyfriend and he helped with kind of the anxiety because I became sort of as much friends as you can be with his friends. And obviously I would hang out with him and, like, sit with him at lunch. And I also made friends with a girl. I don't remember specifically how we met, but we kind of, oh my god, I remember. This is so explanatory of the situation. So how me and this girl met was whenever I would get dropped off in the morning, I would get dropped off pretty early because my mom had to go to work. So I would get dropped off and we would have to go into the gymnasium to, like, wait. So everybody, all the buses that came early, like, everything like that, they had to go straight to the gymnasium and sit and wait till, like, 8 o'clock when your first classes were.
Mm-hmm.
Our gym teacher, who was the supervisor of the whole gym, he would make us walk laps around the gym, like around the basketball court, so that we weren't just sitting there. Because, you know, he was like, you fat, lazy middle schoolers, you need to get up and walk. Y'all be playing too much video games and sitting. So, he made us get up and walk. So, I would walk alone. I didn't have anybody, so I would just walk laps alone. And then one day, this girl and her other friend, she was like, hey, like, are you walking with anybody? And I was like, no, I'm walking by myself. And they were like, do you want to walk with us? And I was like, sure. So that's how our friendship started. And I was friends with her, I think, until, like, 9th grade, maybe.
Damn.
She wasn't the best friend ever.
Oh.
Yeah. She ended up being fake in the end.
Are they all?
Yeah. So that didn't last very long. But I did have somebody. So the social anxiety wasn't as bad because I did have people, but the depression, roaring. And then my mom was like, you're not killing yourself. We're going to the counselor. So I went to the counselor and I got on medicine. And I've been on medicine ever since 8th grade. So, yeah, that ends the middle school era. Now into our high school era.
I feel like if anything at all in high school, the most I had was, like, social anxiety, but not, like, a lot of it. Because I did talk to anyone and everything. Even the walls.
I was so jealous of people like that. Oh my god. Like, I literally wished every day that I could be different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're gay and you don't want to be and you wish that you're straight. That was me.
So,
wishing I could talk. Like, I wished, oh my god. I wished for the gay to go away. I really did. Like.
Yeah. I mean, like, the first day of high school, there was 1,000 of us. So, like, obviously the first day of high school, I'm, like, geeking because I went from a middle school of, like, 4, which is already enough in the middle school, 400 people, to a high school of, like, 1,000 some. So obviously that's a little scary. And then you're like, we had three middle schools that fed into our high school. So I was scared for that day. But I was like, it's fine. Like, I just want to get there.
Yeah, I feel like that's normal.
Yeah, so it was normal. It was like the normal amount of anxiety. I mean, who the hell wouldn't be anxious about going to a school that big? If I had anxiety at all in high school, it was more of like social, like I've said before, because there was just so many people. And my out for most of it was band. That was like where I first like found a love for band. Like I started doing band in middle school, but high school was so much different because like the band director wasn't a piece of shit. And like we had like our band was actually really good my first 2 years because like we worked together as one.
I think if I would have joined something like that, because I wouldn't have ever done sports.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I would have joined something like that, it would have helped.
Yeah.
But I like couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally could not even like fathom doing that.
Just to back the brakes up, I just got a big old memory. So we're going from 5th grade to 6th grade. That's like when you make your decision of like what your like electives will be or your related
In
arts.
middle school?
Yeah, for us.
Yeah.
You chose like if you were going to do band or choir. My mother wanted me in band so bad, but all I remember was the shit you see on TV where band geeks, people are made fun of for being in band. Like, I didn't want to be made fun of for being in band. And my mom, like, she's like, I think you should do band, you'll love it, like, I think you'll have a lot of fun. And I'm like, no, I'm going to get made fun of. And I'm like, I wish I could have told, like, little 5th grade me, that is not what it is at all. So I was like, I don't know. But my friend that I had since 2nd grade, she was joining. So she really was what helped me out, along with my mom's little do it. And then she was doing it. And I was like, well, she's doing it, then I can do it. Because she was a cheerleader. So I was like, oh, she's cool. So I'll be cool if I do it too. Yeah. That was who I was. I had to be cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, she's doing it, then I can do it. So I did it. Little did I know it was going to be my out. Because I swear if I didn't do that, I probably would have shit my britches in 6th grade as well. I think my mother is what pushed me to be more, like, extroverted. Because she's like, well, you have an option, so go do band. And I'm like, fine. So I did it. I got over myself. I had a friend. She quit, mind you. I think she did it in 6th grade and that was it. Or maybe she just did one semester. I don't know. But she did cheer. Then I made other friends, of course.
My mom tried to push me to do things, but I would just scream and cry and throw a fit because my anxiety was so bad that I literally couldn't do them.
Like, I can never wrap my head around that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my brain's like, huh? But there's obviously other people that can relate.
Yeah. Well, my anxiety, social anxiety to be specific, in high school, very, 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 very slowly got better. Going to high school wasn't that big of a transition for me because it was still my middle school. So it was just new classes. So that wasn't too big of a deal for me. And I still had the friend from 8th grade. And then we kind of dropped off. I made friends with another girl, but we were never like close in 10th grade. And then in 11th, I had a couple friends, but I was never like, I was always quiet, didn't say a word in class. I was the shy kid. Nobody talked to me. I didn't talk to anybody. I just had like my boyfriend and then like one friend. But it was never like, I never did anything with anybody extracurricularly. Like, it was just, oh, we're friends at school. Or I'll sit with you and you'll sit with me type of deal. Like, it was always superficial. Like, and then 11th grade rolls around. I'm getting a little bit better with my social anxiety. I'm being a little bit more talkative to people. People are being more talkative to me because I'm giving them feedback, so they're giving me feedback. And it definitely gets better during my senior year. And then now we're seniors in college. Ain't that something?
Shit's a zom.
And obviously I was on medicine in high school, so I think that, along with several years of deep counseling, really changed my life. Like, I can genuinely say that counseling absolutely changed my life. Like, I don't know where I would be without the woman that I saw for a decade. Like,
damn.
Not a decade.
Decade.
Half a decade. On to college.
So I graduated in 2020, and I had my mind on going to Marshall since Jesus. Since probably my first. Since Jesus. Since Jesus came back. Since. I always knew I wanted to go to Marshall since 6th grade. I literally remember sitting in one of my like teachers' classes,
I did.
and they had like a little Marshall sign,
Yeah.
and I was like, I wonder what Marshall is. And I searched it up. I was like, oh wow, it's a college. Never been. Didn't ever go until freshman year of high school. But I was like, that's cool. I'm like, maybe I'll go there one day, which is ironic. So scurrying back up to senior year. I've already committed to going here. The shit's getting closer and closer. They sidelined the band. I'm like, I'm not doing guard this year now. Okay, well now I gotta sit in the dorm room. No visitors. I said no, so I didn't go there. Alrighty, a year passed. I tell everyone, I'm like, in the year I'm going to Marshall, nothing's gonna stop me. Like, I'm going there. Fuck state, because that's where I went. Ew. I hate it. Like, yay if it's for you. It's not for me. I just felt like I did not belong there. I hated it. I did not want to be there. I didn't want to live at home. I didn't like driving 40 minutes for school, because I also didn't care about school. I was heavily depressed. Like, the most depressed at the time I'd ever been. Like, did not want to move. I went to work. I did my homework. Went home. Fast forward, I auditioned for Marshall's Guard again, this time about 3 years ago. So I'm like, yay, made Guard again. Mm-hmm. Woohoo, we have that lined up. I had to come down here every other week for practice. So that helped a little bit with the transition from, like, you know, not being in college, or like being in college but like doing it at home. So basically coming down here with no one, because I didn't have any friends down here yet. Like, this for the first time in my life. Like, obviously going from elementary to middle, I had friends. Going from middle to high school, I had friends. Going from high to middle, like, or from high to middle, high to college, I had friends, but like we haven't talked in a year. COVID happened. Like, it's college. Our college is huge. Like, it's a lot different than a high school. You're not coming down here to talk to the same people you talk to in high school. That's not how it works. So I come down here. I have guard. I have some friends. Not like, they're not close friends yet. They're not close friends yet. Obviously, we've only met each other maybe 6 times because of practice every other week. So I come down here, just moved out of the house. I come down here, don't have a friend yet. I have like 1 or 2 friends I made in guard, but they're friends for now. Like, we don't have any deep conversations. We've never hung out outside of guard. So they're just like acquaintances. They're people to talk to on the side. At the time. So this whole week, bruh, I literally have a dorm. No one's moved in dorms yet. I'm the only one in my dorm room. It was a 4-bedroom dorm room. We had like 4 rooms. Thank God it was not shared. You know, that whole week I slept like a damn dream. Obviously, I'm exhausted, but every day I'd wake up sick. Every day I'd wake up, I couldn't eat. We literally went to like Chipotle, like the guard, like some of the guard girls. We all went to Chipotle. I could not eat. I could barely fucking eat my food. Like, I starved myself for a week straight. I literally was puking up water because that's all I did was drink water. You had to drink water. You're outside all day.
Because you were so anxious about like starting.
Just
college? Because
I was around so many people. That band was like 200 some people. I didn't know at the time that I, like, obviously you have an attachment to your family. So I have an attachment to my family. I have an attachment to my hometown. I have an attachment to my friends. So now I'm down here, nobody. I'm all by myself. I'm literally calling my mom every night thinking I'm sick. Like, I literally was like, I need to go to the doctor. Maybe my liver's failing. Time went on. I met friends. I made friends with other people. We were all chill and dandy. So my first week down here was absolute. It was fun, and like I had a good time, but like mentally I was down the drain. But no one around me would have done that. But yeah.
I agree with that, because what happened was when I graduated high school, I decided to move into a 2-bedroom apartment with a girl that I'd known since kindergarten, and I think that helped a lot with the transition. It was like your band and then my friend from kindergarten really helped us with our transition. And so I moved in with her, and really the only anxiety that I had that was really, really bad was the first night, because it was the first time that I'd ever like been away from one of my parents, and because obviously I'm really close with them, being an only child, and now I'm all by myself. Like, I'm all alone. They're an hour away. So yeah, the first night being away from my parents and being away from home, being out of my hometown in a completely new environment with, you know, new external factors, I was fine, but I did cry for like a good while in the shower the first night, so no one would hear me. So I had really bad anxiety the first night.
Definitely cried.
And then after that, it was pretty much a steady upward flow. I flourished during my first year. Like, I was social. It was just like nobody knew me. No one knew that past history of me being the shy girl. And so I didn't have to carry that weight with me. And I just completely let it go, made completely new friends. The only friend that I have from my high school is literally that the girl that I moved in with my first year. And I don't talk to anyone else, not friends with anyone else. Like, that is it. And I just made new friends, met new people, continued to meet new people. And I just completely, like, grew out of my anxiety. And so many people during my elementary and middle school and even high school days told me, oh, you'll grow out of it, you'll grow out of it, eventually you'll grow out of it, you won't be shy anymore. And I was like, that's some bullshit. Like, you're wrong. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
They're like, high school is the best days of your life. Okay, maybe for you. Maybe for
Maybe if you peaked in high school.
Exactly. Imagine peaking in high school. That's embarrassing.
That was not the best days of my life.
No.
I mean, I had a great time. Stretch. I had a good time in high school. I really did, but I wouldn't say it was the best days of my life. No. It was fun. I had a great time.
And obviously, I still deal with anxiety, but it's mostly just the social anxiety. Like I said, I still can't get up and go to the bathroom in class. Like, I literally, like, physically cannot do that.
Only when we're here.
So, you know, it's still present, but I've worked through it, and we're on the upward. We're on the ups.
Damn straight.
And if there is one thing that I so wish that I could go back and tell myself, is that, specifically my middle school self, is that those people are right. You will outgrow it. And I don't like the word outgrow, because it's not something you outgrow. You just learn
how to deal with it better.
Yeah, you learn how to deal with it, and you learn tactics that help you through it. You get help. That was very important in my timeline, was getting help. And having a great support system. And I just wish I could tell myself, you will get there. You will have friends. You'll have a group of friends. It was one of my biggest wishes to have a group that I could, like, hang out with, because I was only ever friends with, like, one person. Like, I wanted a group so bad. So bad. And, yeah, I just wish I could tell myself, like, it will get better, and you will mature out of it, is a better word to say. What about you and your college experience, moving forward from freshman year?
I feel like I always had anxiety here and there, but it was never, like, anything detrimental, ever. It's always like, oh, I have a test tomorrow, I'm a little anxious about it. Normal anxiety. Nothing that's like, whoop! Wow. Well, guys, about February this year, so my parents, let's give you a little backstory. I'm talking like a hillbilly now. Anywho, so my parents always tell me my car is high mileage as hell. It has 192,000 miles right now, but she's a Toyota. She's kicking it. She's a 2015. So, back in February, we go to Chillicothe, which is like an hour away from here, and we take my car. All is well, and then, like, out of nowhere, I get anxious for no fucking reason. And I'm like, oh my god, what if my car breaks down? What if we don't make it? Like, what if my car breaks down and we're an hour and a half away from where we already live, and my parents already live an hour from here, so now they'll be 2.5 hours away. So I'm like, oh god. And it doesn't help that my dad has always told me, like, don't take your car on, like, far trips, like, you want it to last. Don't take it on, like, big trips, like, just go to work and go home and you're good, and, like, the farthest you need to be traveling is, like, Charleston, no more than an hour trips, because it's gonna heat up your transmission and fuck it up, woohoo. And I'm like, okay. So I have that scare tactic in my brain. I'm like, oh shit, we're going an hour and a half. We're finna die. We're finna die. It's an extra 30 minutes. We are going to die. Yeah, that's a little extra. I have reckon I didn't die.
Being morbid?
That's a little morbid, if you will. Yeah, woohoo. So anyway, I have anxiety about my damn car breaking down. We get there, we get back, nothing happens. But then Sunday, because we went on Saturday, Sunday comes and goes, I go to work, I come back home. Wow, nothing happened. Would you believe it? Then Monday comes. I get up, I get ready for my clinical. Mind you, it's at the ass crack of dawn. Like, I literally had to get up at 6:30. So I get there, I get ready, there's no kids. So now my damn routine's thrown off. I'm like, well, shit. So I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just go home. So I'm like, oh, I'll go to Grindstone, which is a little coffee shop down the road. Yeah, I wouldn't. I get all the way to a few blocks away from our apartment, and mind you, like, the coffee shop's probably like,
half a mile.
literally half a mile away. And my damn car goes putt putt, and then like when the oil goes out, your engine misfires, which is what causes the jig. Guess who thought her car was gonna break down? And guess who was right? Yeah. Now I'm like, great, all my stupid anxious thoughts are reality.
Yep.
And that's what happened. I said, shit.
That exact sentence. Now I think all my anxious thoughts are reality.
Because then my brain starts picturing it. So now it feels like it's intuition, like I can picture it, it's gonna happen.
Yep.
And that's what happens every time now that I have anxiety. Literally, it's because my brain hates me and it starts projecting like us breaking down randomly on the interstate. And now I'm like, oh my God, what if we actually do? Because that one time I was right. That one time I was right, and now I'm afraid. But every other time my coil went out, I'm just like, whatever, Dad'll fix it. It'll happen again eventually. It could happen to anyone's car. And when it has that high mileage, that shit's normal.
Yep.
So, anywho, then this spiraled in anxiety for like, I thought I'd get over it. I thought I'd be going, good and gone. Nope. So then I'm like, that's it. I gotta make a psychiatrist appointment. This has gone on for too long. I've needed to go for so long. I just don't want to, and I'm never going to want to. I need to make this appointment. So I go beep bop boop call. The soonest they had an appointment was a literal month. Month's better than ever.
Yep.
So I get my appointment with who? And that whole fucking month, I sit there and battle with depression and anxiety worse than I've ever had. Sick as shit, could barely eat. Literally only eating yogurt or applesauce, granola bar maybe. Like, sick as shit, constantly crying. Like, literally sitting here having a breakdown before I had to drive to work. I'm shaking in my damn boots. I can sleep like a dream. But once I'm awake, I'm ready to puke. Every day I wake up sick to my stomach. Every day I wake up, I can barely eat. Like, then we literally start working out that same week. So now I'm like working out, but I'm not eating anything. Mm-hmm. So I'm starting to drop weight like nothing. I said, woohoo.
Yeah.
There was no nutrients that whole month. I said, nope, can't eat. I don't want to eat. I have no desire to eat. Like, I have no interest in food. Every day I couldn't tell you why. It was, what if my car breaks down? Then I spiral on it. Then it like went to my school life because school was obviously still going on. I was like, great. So what if I fail this test? What if I fail this class? What if my car breaks down from here to class? At that point, my logical part of my brain, whoop, she's gone. My logic of the brain right here said, goodbye.
Yep.
Nothing. Absolutely no logic was left. So I'm flipping my lid. Anywho, so we go to the psychiatrist and I tell them this. I'm like, I have anxiety every day for a whole month. I can barely eat. I feel sick. Life sucks. I'm depressed as hell. I'm making everything a chore. Still passing classes. Somehow, some way I can do my homework still. Because it was like my out. Like, that was my anxiety's out, was doing my homework because it would distract my mind. Mm-hmm. That was the only reason I think I was able to do my homework. Because everything else, like my first year of college, I didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that damn homework. I'm gonna watch TikTok. Like, ain't no way. So, yeah, I go to the psychiatrist. I'm like, bitch, I'm depressed as hell. I'm anxious as hell. They're like, alright, we're going to prescribe you some Zoloft. I said, oop, her. And then for like the first 2 weeks, I'm like, this shit ain't working. This stuff don't work. I need to up my dose. Like, this just ain't working. I go up to see one of my friends, and he's on like 16 times the dose I'm on. 16 is very dramatic. 2 times the dose I'm on.
Actually, 3.
Yeah, wow.
3 times.
It really is 3 times the dose. Some people need more than the others, and that's alright. I don't want that much. I thought I did. That week I did. And like talking to him really did help a lot. Like I was like, oh my God, like I'm not alone. And like obviously neuromedicine too, but I was like, it's crazy because I've known neuromedicine. I did not know he was on medicine. So it was like, whoa. And like he just recently got on it too, because both of us have always just fought our own battles ourselves and said, I don't need that shit. I'll figure it out. But that's how we were both raised, to figure it out. And I was like, sweet. So I thought I could figure it out. And for once in my life, I truly couldn't figure it out. I was constantly anxious no matter what I did. If I had to touch that car that day, I was going to be anxious the whole day. If I had a day off and I didn't have to touch my car though, life is great. But then the second that night came, I realized I had to drive in the morning. Time to puke, time to die. As time goes on, it gets better. The logical part of my brain starts working again.
Mm-hmm. And this is not to say that medicine is the fix.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Your support system matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Like, if I didn't have you here talking to me every day, I probably would turn up in a loony bin, low key. Because I don't think I've ever been that down bad. Like, if I would have lived alone, oof,
yeah.
I'm a little afraid for her. Luckily, I had you literally getting me off my ass every day. Mm-hmm. Like, we're going to go do something. We're not sitting here. Like, we're not doing this. And then, like, I do have, like, willpower to not sit on my ass because I can't stand it.
And now you're going to therapy.
Yeah, now we're in therapy. I've only been to 2 visits, so it isn't like, I can't say that it's helped me much, but it is nice to have another opinion on things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the medicine's not the answer. The medicine has helped me. Literally still have anxious days. The anxious thoughts never really go away. You just get better at dealing with them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what if my car breaks down? I'm like, well, then you'll figure out when it happens. Like, let's not sit here and spiral on it. Like, worst case scenario really is nothing that deep. Medicine has just helped my logic come back, thankfully. Because I have never, like, let my spots spiral like that and then believe them. That's the other problem is, like, I don't want to believe my anxious thoughts, but like, I know the second I believe this thought, it's going to happen. And now it's a constant fight every day of that, which I guess I need to talk to the therapist about that one too.
Yeah.
In the next episode of Holly's therapy.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Is being like, yeah, that's actually crazy. I need to write that down. It's anxiety. Shit sucks, but you can survive, and you will survive. And yeah, now I can go to work every day, and I don't fucking flip my lid the whole way there.
If there was one thing that you could tell yourself, like back when you first were having your anxiety, what would it be? Back in like February when you were dealing with your car trauma.
You'll make it through, and this feeling isn't forever.
Yes, that is huge.
Because at the time it felt like that was going to be the rest of my life. I'm going to feel like this sick and nauseous every day. I'm never going to be able to eat a damn real meal again.
That's one thing my mom taught me was everything is temporary. Like, this too shall pass. And that is one thing that really got me through, was knowing that it wasn't forever. I think the moral of the story is that even if you are having these feelings, they are temporary. And get help if you need it.
Truth. It's worth it.
That's huge.
The help is actually worth it. Don't tell yourself, oh, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
Or I'll make it through. I was pushed through it. I'll figure it out. Because, yeah. And it doesn't help that my mom was always like, I don't want you to be on medicine because you'll get addicted to it. And you'll never be able to get off. Boy! This is not the truth, guys. You can always get off the damn medicine. If you need it, get it. If you think you can go without, then go without.
More power to you.
Literally. Mine and your biggest thing is like, I think I could be without, but at this point in my life, I feel like exactly. I don't want to be without. It helps.
Okay.
When you have this type of a busy ass schedule and you're in college and you have work and you have this and you have that and life just nonstop and there's no days to just sit on your fucking ass and rot.
The modern world.
Yeah. So when you need the pets, take them.
The pets.
The pets be keeping me alive anymore. The pets got me feeling like life is great.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this one.
Literally. Hope you enjoyed the rant. I can ramble for 10 years, guys.
We've been on a roller coaster of up and downs this whole freaking time we've been talking.
Okay. Peace.